What's up, everybody? This is Mike, the Developing Dad, coming to you with another reflection on the Proverbs. It is May 8th, 2020, and we're going to be in Proverbs 8, verse 5. And it reads, O simple ones, learn prudence. O fools, learn sense. All right, so we've got in this verse both the purpose and the posture of the Proverbs. So we're going to talk about this. Again, we have another parallelism here. We've got O simple ones, O fools, those are one and the same. And then learn prudence and learn sense, those are the one and the same. So he's repeating the idea here so that we can understand that this is of importance. Okay, so this is being recapitulated. Like the idea is like, okay, look, simple ones, those of you who are dense, who don't have understanding, that's us, right? All right, learn prudence, learn wisdom. And then, O fools, O foolish one who walks in a foolish way, who doesn't get it, learn sense. All right, learn wisdom, learn the heart, learn to be able to understand. And that should be instructive for us. And again, this is nothing new, right? We've already discussed that this is the purpose of the book, right? In Proverbs 1:4, we had the exordium. It says the purpose of this book is to give prudence to the simple, right? That's us again, and knowledge and discretion to the youth. Again, we talked about that parallelism as well. So simple and youth are equated, and prudence, knowledge and discretion are equated. So the idea again, this video is not going to be groundbreaking because we've discussed this, and that should be instructive for us as well, because the Bible repeats itself often, and it doesn't repeat itself without purpose. The idea is that we tend to forget, and we need to be reminded constantly of what the scriptures have said. I look at that even in my own children. How many times do I have to tell them the same thing over and over and over again, right? I shouldn't get discouraged because God is having to tell me the same stuff over and over and over again. Hey, you simple. Hey, ask me for wisdom. I have it. You don't. Come to me to get it. Okay, that's the purpose of this book. This book its primary purpose is to help simple people like me to be able to gain wisdom. And when we humble ourselves, again, we understand that we come to this book often. I think what I'm getting ahead of myself. All right, so we see again, but that is the primary purpose of this book. Let's take a look at it again in verse 22 of chapter 1. It says, How long, O simple ones, will you love being simple? How long will scoffers delight in their scoffing and fools hate knowledge? How long will we do this? How long will we have the wisdom of God staring us in the face and we not take advantage of it? The book of Proverbs is right here in our faces. We have it. It's smack dab in the middle of the book, meant for us. When we flip that bad boy open, it's like, hey, there's wisdom right here in the middle of this, right? If I want to know how to deal wisely, how to walk in such a way that honors God, there, like in almost every situation of life, I just open this book. I can open Proverbs, right? And then we have even the idea of wisdom being personified in a person. God has not left us without a person to point to say this is wise living right here. But wisdom is personified in Proverbs 8. It says, I, wisdom, dwell with prudence, and I find knowledge and discretion. When we look to the person of wisdom, and I believe that the personification of wisdom in its perfect form was the man and is the man Jesus Christ. So we can mine the New Testament Gospels as well for an idea of how we can deal wisely, because Christ is our example. Christus exemplar, right? Christ, our example. The idea is that Christ is a person. Wisdom is a person. Love is a person. Truth is a person that we can look to, right? It's not just an abstract idea. We want to know truth. Jesus says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. Okay, we want to know life. It's in him. All right, we want to know the truth. Jesus is the truth. Okay, you want to know the path to walk, the way. Jesus is the way. Okay, that's the idea behind this. Wisdom is personified, the way, the road, the path. Jesus is the one whom we are to look to as an example. And again, it just speaks to, we talked about the posture of the Proverbs. We've got to be humble. We've got to be willing to listen. This is one of the most important things. This is very hard for us to do, to be able to it goes in one ear and it stays, not goes one in and out the other, that it goes in and it finds good ground and lodging in our hearts. And we have the blessed promise, right? In James 1:5 says right here, if any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask God, who gives generously to all without reproach, and it will be given him. That is a precious and very great promise that if we ask, simply ask God, and then be willing to listen to what God has to say, God gives liberally. Liberally, he gives wisdom. All right, this is not something he's trying to hide. Like God's like, oh, you want wisdom? You want the wisdom? Okay, here you go. I give it freely, right? This is what he wants to do. He wants us to be wise. He wants us to walk in wisdom. So let's just ask. Ask every day. Lord, give me wisdom. Lord, grant me wisdom. Lord, I need wisdom. Lord, I'm a fool. Grant me wisdom. I don't know what's going on in this situation. Lord, grant me wisdom. Right? Don't be so prideful, and let us not be so prideful to think that we know everything, that we're capable of understanding all things. This is what we have the scriptures for. This is why we go to the scriptures and we say, Lord, I'm going to your scriptures. I'm going to your word. Reveal to me the wisdom that you want me to have from this. Okay. And then we can also ask godly men and women. Right? We understand that God has given us a church. He's given us the body of Christ so that we can ask godly men and women who have more experience than us, who have gone down the path, gone down the road further than we have. And we can say, can you tell me what has God revealed to you in his word that helped you walk this path? And then glean as much as you can, glean from those types of people. All right, so I'm not going to belabor any more of that point. I just want you to, today, please spend some time asking God for wisdom, learning prudence, learning sense, so that we wouldn't be those ones that are simple. We wouldn't walk the foolish path, right? Bridle our tongue, sit in the posture of the Proverbs and listen to what God has to say. Before we speak, listen. Fill yourself with God's good word. Fill yourself with his wisdom. Fill yourself with his truth. And then when you speak, you'll be speaking his word. His words, and his words, the gospel, has power. The scriptures, two-edged sword, sharper than a two-edged sword, cutting to the marrow of the bone, discerning the intentions of the heart. That's what we need in this time, especially with all of the things going on. I pray that you can do that today. Do that with me today, because I'm going to be doing it. All right? So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see y'all on the next one. Grace and peace.